Okay, what in the Xenoverse is going on now? Hey guys, DB Rai here, and today I'm starting quite a different Dragon Ball What If today. Definitely something weirder and bolder than most of my What Ifs, and that is, what if Kuso Raditz went back in time? Now, I know what you're thinking. DB Rai, you're doing a what if with your OC version of Raditz from the What If Freeza conquered Kanassa timeline, which, if you haven't seen that series, I recommend you check it out. It is from my earlier what if, so the video quality's not as good, but it's still an enjoyable and fun series. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it basically told the story of what if Freeza conquered Kanassa himself and got the ability to see the future. And basically it led to him seeing Raditz being reunited with Goku, and Frieza recognizing from a previous vision that Goku would be the Saiyan to oppose him in the future. And so basically he tried to make Raditz talk and tell him what planet he was sent to, but Raditz, rather dying than talk, Frieza basically tortured him till he was a mindless, obedient Saiyan slave that became monstrously and overly powerful, to the point he could kill fifth form Cooler in his base form, which was pretty intense. So basically, I'm saying, what if this mindless monstrosity Frieza slave got sent back earlier in the timeline somehow? And well, this is how it happened. In the What If Freeza conquered Kanassa timeline, but slightly different from the one we remember, when Kuso Raditz arrived on Earth, much like during the time his original counterpart did, only with a different mission, to kill Kakarot, being convinced that Kakarot was the source of all his pain by the manipulative and mind torture of Lord Freeza, he comes face to face to his brother, instantly surging a deeper inner rage within him, pushing him to his Super Saiyan heights. And with his base form basically being stronger than Super Saiyan Goku on planet Namek battling Frieza at that point, you can imagine this Super Saiyan power is quite the surge of power, except rather than Vegeta and Nappa, who are good guys in the timeline, running interference and trying to stop Raditz from murdering his brother, well, the upsurge is a bit too powerful that it causes a rip in the dimension, pulling Kuso Raditz in and sending him further into the past. Now, Kuso Raditz is at the beginning of the events of Dragon Ball. And let's just say the adventure is about to get crazy here right from the get-go. Now, with Kuso Raditz really being unsure of what has just happened, and of course has no idea where he is, or in this case, when he is, he's at a completely different location, and now he can't seem to get a fix on his brother's power level at all. Because at this point in the story, at the beginning of Dragon Ball, there is no one that strong on the planet. There's no one as strong as Kakarot on the planet yet. Piccolo's not around yet. And right now, his brother, little Kakarot, is doing his morning exercises outside Grandpa Gohan's homestead, while Bulma is about to arrive and the whole Pilaf saga is about to begin. So, pretty much, Kuso Raditz is pretty much flying around aimlessly, simply trying to find his brother. But I guess the positive note at this point is that no one's being killed yet. So he hasn't killed anybody yet, because Kuso Raditz is pretty much solely focused on killing his brother. So, as long as people aren't standing out too much at this point, no one's really in that immediate danger. except for those who were stupid enough to go up to him and talk to him, especially idiots in the cities who try to mug Kuso Raditz and whatnot, and he ends up killing them in a brutally fashion. After all, this is Raditz. He is a Saiyan, but he's a mindless, unstoppable monster at this point. And, well, at least he's only killed a few criminals so far. And, well, meanwhile, you can say that the adventures of Goku and Bulma are pretty much playing out as per normal with the Pilaf saga. And, well, Kuso Raditz is basically doing everything he can to survive at this point. He's basically hunting animals and cooking them up on a nice big fire and munching, and pretty much taking whatever time he needs to sleep, and whenever he's not doing that, he's pretty much looking for his brother. And he pretty much doesn't interact and talk to anyone, at least not until this mysterious girl happens to just a girl who happens to really like hiking and exploring, just happens to walk by his camp, and well, her name at the moment, her name is Sapphire. I thought that's a pretty cool name for her. Sapphire. Nice girl, blue hair, pigtails, and well, she stumbles upon Kuso Raditz, or we could just call him Raditz at this point. Either way, you should know who I'm talking about at this point. Now, we'll just keep calling him Kuso, because he is technically a different character. Anyways, she stumbles upon Kuso, who's sleeping by his fire, and he just finished eating, so he doesn't have his slave mask on right now. The slave mask he wears that's in Frieza's likeness, and he's all pretty scarred up, and the girl already feels some sort of sympathy and pity for Kuso, that she does go in to have a bit of a closer look, and well, Kuso basically wakes up with a bit of a growl and pretty much scares her away. And, well, even though Sapphire should have more or less kept moving on, she kept coming back and returning to the campsite and watching over Kuso in a way, waiting as he returned to the campsite, would leave him baskets of fruit and things like that, and sometimes Kuso would spot her watching in the difference, and one day as he looked at her, he began to sort of visualize or almost see a vision of his dead mother Gine. Just something about this woman's kindness sparked a memory within him with his memory of his mother, and that went on to spark on some other memories of him and his father, and some of the times he'd look upon his younger brother, who was still inside a nursing capsule at the time, and this would cause a nasty big headache in Raditz, but the headache is actually just psychological due to the mental torture that Freeza had over him in the years, and this would set off Raditz in a rage, and he'd fly off yelling "Kakarot!" similar in a way to Broly would in the original Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan movie. It's almost like the part of Raditz will be the part of Broly will be played by Raditz. And well, needless to say, he had no further luck finding his brother, And once again, he would return to the campsite, and the days, months would go on by, and Sapphire would keep leaving him baskets of fruit. And one day, while Kuso was sleeping, and Sapphire go by to leave by some fruits, and even, this time, even some medical supplies. As she went to leave, for the first time ever in years, Raditz spoke and told her, "Thank you." And this hit Sapphire like a wave of positivity. Just, she wasn't sure Kuso could speak, for starters, and the fact he actually thanked her didn't scare her off, and so she simply smiled and told Raditz he was welcome and moved along. And eventually, Kuso began slowly but surely speaking more with this lady, and she, of course, would talk back, and that eventually he was finally told the year and that he had somehow been sent back in time, and he had begun to sort of open up with her and begun telling his story, and that essentially he's there to basically assassinate his brother, which she is surprised by this, but according to Raditz's side of the story, it's pretty much understandable, and she sort of wants to help about with at least getting him some sort of peace of mind. So Raditz tried describing what his brother looked like, and the last time he saw him was an adult, but since he's back in time, he said he probably looked like a little runt by now. So spiky hair with a tail, and well, this is where about 6 to 8 months later, she would actually return to Kuso with some good news. There had been sightings of her brother, of the brother of Kuso, aka Raditz, and that he was the runner-up in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, having lost to Jackie Chun, and that there would be another tournament in 3 years. So at the very least, Kuso might be able to just intercept his brother there. And, well, I think, at least for now, at least for a first parter, this is a good spot to actually leave things. So what do you guys think? You're gonna... Actually, I will... No, I will save that for the next part or the part after. Anyways, let me know what you think of this part of the story, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you guys again next time. Alright, catch you later then.